So, first things first, you should learn how to navigate around the park. Moving, rotating, zooming. Almost as if you were riding a roller coaster. A massive, invisible roller coaster. Look at that! You've completed an
If I could butt in and make a suggestion, how about you make your next objective opening up literally the only ride in your park? Why is it even closed?
Oh, hello, Lucy. This is Lucy Summers, one of the most enthusiastic and outspoken theme park fans in the world. She's got almost 800 followers. You know, online. Not in a cult.
Hi there. And it's 900, but who's counting? So, the ride?
Ah, yes. Opening rides. Go on, select the ride. Good. And now, open the ride. You did it with such gusto. Well done. And now that we have such an adorable, gentle ride open, more guests, especially families, will soon be flooding into the park.
You know, you could turn that flood into a bigger flood. This place just needs something a bit more thrilling.
Well, if people want thrills, then we'll give them thrills. And possibly nausea. Head over to the highlighted area. I think it'll make an excellent location for a ride. But let's ask our head engineer. Eugene?
Greetings, Eugene Newton. Good to make your acquaintance. And yes, Mr. Thompson, I think it will do nicely. The proximity to existing infrastructure appears nominal, so guests should be able to achieve both entry and exit with minimal difficulty. So, if you would start by clearing the highlighted area of any obstructions, please. And do not fret, those items will automatically be sold, so we will get at least some of the purchase price back. Oh, just a word about the radial menu. The radial menu gives you fast access to commonly used actions. Please note that the options available in the radial menu will change depending on the mode you're in. Very good. Now, I've already chosen a... and place it in the designated area. Now, it's very important that when you place the entrance gate, you make sure to leave enough space so you can build a ride queue. Next up, connecting your ride to the park, so people can reach it. Now, that queue you're building is where guests will wait in line to go on the ride. Very good. And now you should build a path from the exit gate back to the rest of the park. For that, you can simply use normal paths. Oh, and if you do find any obstacles or obstructions in your way, you can build slopes or stairs into your path to get over them. And finally, you can open the ride.
No, that's not how we...
gonna get way more teenagers like me and my followers visiting the park now.
Ah, don't you... Evil. Did you see that notification? Even the guests think we're undercharging them. Let's do them a favor and fix that. That's right. Take a good look at the notification. It'll tell you what we need to alter the prices of. Look, I know Oswald likes to treat our guests like royalty, but that doesn't mean we should charge a king's ransom for the rides. Oh, look. It's that family-friendly little ride of ours. Go on. Put the ticket prices up by a few dollars.
That seems a wee bit steep.
Oh, honestly, Oswald, the people visiting this park... See? That guest didn't seem too put off by the higher price, did they, Oswald?
Yes, but their happiness is our bread and butter, so it's important. Well done on hitting Cynthia's profit forecast. Honestly, I was worried it was a little high. But as always, she knows just how hard to squeeze the guests' wallets. Anyway, now that we've made some money, we can make some improvements. Oh, but don't forget to slow things back down to normal speed again. After all, it's not a good idea to build... All right, it's high time we talked about taking care of guests and improving the park.
Okay, now that level of happiness might be good enough for most parks, but Don't worry, I've highlighted the problem area. So go on, stick down some scenery. Make it look all piratey. Oh yeah, us guests love having interesting things to look at. Cheers us right up.
Oh, that is a bit nicer.
I don't... You see how it's got a high Q scenery rating? Because of that, the ride's prestige is higher too. Us guests are way less interested in rides with boring queues. Okay, so that's not nearly as prestigious as it could be. But you can fix that by giving us guests some eye candy to look at while we wait. Go on, stick some nice scenery down around the queue. Come on, admit it. Isn't that better? And if you check, I bet you'll see that the ride's Q scenery rating and prestige has gone up as a result.
Excellent. That means we can also raise the ticket price. Go on, put it up by a few dollars.
Ah, heck. I really didn't think this through, did I?
Oh my! Look at... Right, I think it's time we took a look at the park rating breakdown. It's a great way to track how your park is improving. That's it! In here, you can see how your overall ride... Goodness! Your transformation of the park has really bumped the park rating up a good few notches, my friend. And look at all the guests, happily smiling away. And you know what they say about happy guests?
They like spending money.
Oh, is everything about cold, hard cash with you, Cynthia?
No, I also like stocks and shares.
Anyway, guests have other needs which can affect their happiness. So, let's take a look at some of them.
Yes, let's. Scoot. Right. If you want to find out what us guests need, one way is by looking at the guest screen in Park Management. Go on, open it. This is where you can see what the average guest... That's the food sorted, but a bunch of us guests are also really thirsty. So you should definitely build some drinks shops.
A word of advice. Put your shop somewhere busy so we get the best return on our investment. Sorry, I mean best serve our guests' needs, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, real convincing.
Shop vendors don't work for free. We have to turn a profit.
Now that your guests can fulfill their needs in the park, they're less likely to become unhappy.
Speaking of problems, can you do something about all the litter? It's piling up and really bumming us guests out. Maybe you could hire some janitors to keep on top of it. Thanks for that. Of course, litter.
Oh no! Ah, good. I'm sure our new mechanic will have that right. Well, now that our emergency has been dealt with, the mechanic can spend their time inspecting the rides and reducing the chance of another breakdown. Now, I think it's high time you built a staff room for our staff so that they can have a bit of a break.
I mean, do they really need to?
Yes, you see, staff are a lot like cellular phones. No, wait, I've tried that one before. Anyway, just like guests, staff members... Gosh, you've got so many people working for you that there might not be enough space in the staff room anymore. You'd better increase the staff room's capacity. Look at you! Oh, you're a bum! Goodness, just look at how... Now, these first few of the last few lessons will mostly be focusing on finance.
Which is why I'll be handling them. You can get started by looking at the overall finances of the park in the finance section of park management. Ah, this is my happy place. Just look at all those... As you can see, this section gives you an overview of how your shops and facilities are doing. Ah, and as I thought, you could definitely stand to raise your food and drinks prices by $50 or so. Happy guests don't mind. Yes, that's better. It's hardly a lottery win, but we are seeing...
Now that the research is in hand, Good! See, if a staff member is unhappy, then they won't be as effective at their job. And if they're really unhappy, they might even quit entirely. Anyway, I think it's high time we gave some of our staff a raise, don't you?
No.
That wasn't directed at you, Cynthia. So, check if any of your staff members aren't as happy as they could be. And, if so, bump their wages up a notch or two. There, that's a start. Now, if a Once you've chosen who to train, they'll soon Oh, yes.
Take what away? Oh, I understand. If you could reveal the newly researched coaster blueprint, please. Well, that was needlessly over the top. Oh, but that is...
Here's some money.
And place it in a suitable location.
Oh, look at that! Your first coaster!
Well, now, looking at the telemetry data, the fear and nausea ratings are well within tolerable levels for guests, which means this ride is perfectly safe. Of course, that was to be expected with a prefabricated blueprint ride. When you build coasters from scratch, things can go differently. Okay, when you've connected it up to the rest of the park, you can open the coaster.
Eugene?
Again, apologies. Open the coaster!
Much better. And what a fine coaster. But you're not done yet. You should adorn the track with plenty of wonderful scenery. Give the guests something exciting and unique to see as they whiz around those twists and turns. Oh, and of course, scenery will also improve the ride's prestige.
You could use animatronics. They're extremely effective, although they will incur running costs.
And, of course, there's all those wonderful scenery blueprints that Eugene made for you.
Indeed, I really cannot overstate how long it took me to make those for you.
Will you look? Okay. So, you'll need to multi-select everything you want to include in your blueprint. Go on. Okay. So, you'll need to multi-select everything you want to include in your blueprint. Go on. Now, go and create a blueprint and you'll be able to make as many copies of your coaster as you like. Or at least can afford. Oh, don't forget to give your blueprint a good name. And now you've made a blueprint, you'll find it in the Coasters browser.
In the East Peak?
Unlike the guests, you can get off the coaster whenever you like. You know, just in case you're feeling a little bit wobbly in the tum-tum. Congratulations! I'd slap you on the back, but you look a wee bit queasy. Even so, I think you're ready to start your no doubt illustrious career in park management.
What wonderful news! Because it means you can start paying back the time and effort that Oswald's invested in you.
And if you would let me, I would dearly love to teach you the intricacies of building a coaster from the ground up. Oh, or ground down if it's subterranean.
And I'm gonna tag along because my season pass gives me free entry anyway. Oh, and to watch you grow as a manager, obviously.
Not that you haven't grown already. Just look at this park. At your park. full of happy guests, making precious but reasonably priced memories. You should be proud of yourself. But this is just the start. Are you ready for the next step?